The early 1980s really were an incredible and iconic time in the history of our civilization. The birth of Reaganism, the eradication of smallpox, the launch of the space shuttle, good old Charles and Di getting married, the arrival of MTV, the Falklands War, Michael Jackson's Thriller, Steven Spielberg's E.T., the debut of CDs, Aston Villa winning the Champions League, and the ZX Spectrum. Considered one of the most influential computers ever made, the Spectrum originally launched in the UK on the 23rd of April 1982, and it played a pivotal role in the early history of computing and gaming, particularly in the UK. Its influence and legacy cannot be underestimated. A home computer with 16 kilobytes of RAM that could run off your TV without needing a dedicated monitor. A home computer which produced dedicated colour graphics. A home computer launching at a price tag of just £129. It was the home computer that bought computers out of their incumbent homes at universities and offices and showed that they could be accessible and affordable for the mass market. It inspired countless teenagers to learn how to experiment, create and code programs, software and applications, and taught them that they could make money from doing so, fueling a surge in programmers, creators and digital artists. A computer that was affordable enough to become common in schools, teaching a budding generation about the miracles of computer science. A home computer that was one of the single biggest factors in the launch and growth of the British information technology industry, and a computer that sold in excess of 5 million units across 7 hardware revisions over a 10-year lifespan. A computer conceived and designed by one of the most pioneering and eccentric British inventors of all time, Sir Clive Sinclair. There's always something special about that feeling of nostalgia, be it a sound, a picture, a smell, a feeling, an experience. Something that transports us back in time to a seemingly simpler and decluttered point in our lives. Many retro game systems have had that nostalgic throwback in recent years. The Nintendo NES and Super NES Classic Minis, the Mega Drive Mini, the PlayStation Classic, even the PC Engine Mini. Home computers have had that itch scratched too, with the C64 in both Mini and Maxi variants, the VIC-20, the 400 Mini, and the A500 Mini, all launching from Retro Games Limited. Each of those machines were faithful recreations of the iconic original hardware, with pre-installed games included, as well as some genuinely welcome mod cons, instant loading, HDMI output, upscaling, controller support, save states, and even the ability to install your own ROMs onto some of the systems. ROMs that, of course, you absolutely own. And now the retro re-release train finally has one of its most in-demand passengers on board. The Spectrum. Launching on the 22nd of November 2024, the Spectrum is packed with features. It includes 48 built-in games, including the likes of Manic Miner, The Hobbit, The Great Escape, Head Over Heels, Football Manager 2, Star Strike 2, Horace Goes Skiing, and The Way of the Exploding Fists. And, as I mentioned, the ability to load your own ROMs of games that you definitely already own. Compatible with both 48K and 128K games, the Spectrum gives you 4 game save slots per game, as well as a rewind facility that allows you to time travel back up to 40 seconds to rectify your mistakes. The ULA Plus colour mode can be applied to any game for richer colour palettes, and you can surround your gameplay with any one of the 12 aesthetically pleasing frames. HDMI ports means a 720p output, which you can set to either 50 or 60 Hz, and 4 USB ports to allow you to connect multiple joysticks or USB game controllers, plus USB sticks with all those games you definitely own. And of course, it has a classic mode, so you can dive right into the full ZX Spectrum experience, complete with basic programming and virtual cassettes. So this all probably sounds rather bloody excellent if you've got this far. A massive thanks to both Retro Games Limited and Play on Replay for sending me my very own Spectrum to crack open and have a play with. But before I do that, if I could just ask you to take half a second to smash that like button, or even drop a subscription to the channel, I will love your face unconditionally for the rest of eternity. shameless self-plug over, let's get into the specky. Oh yes. The actual Spectrum on the box has a really nice kind of gloss feel to it, as does the logo. Nice. Carefully removing the outer packaging reveals a lovely inner box with the instantly recognisable design on the front. Inside there is the machine itself, a beautiful, faithful reproduction of the ZX Spectrum. Under the machine we have a wonderful cover on the instruction manual, as well as a copy of Crash Micro Action, which has been specially created for the UK version. Another box reveals cables, a USB A to C cable to power it, and an HDMI cable to display it, and a satisfying protective sticker to peel off, and you are instantly transported to the past the moment your fingers caress those inexplicably wonderful rubber keys. Power and home buttons are on the back, so the machine, the manual, the magazine, the cables, everything you need to get into the Spectrum. So that is what is in the box. A massive thanks once again to Retro Games Limited and Play on Replay for sending me out a Spectrum. Let me know below in the comments if you're going to pick one of these up. I will come back in a future video after release to let you know how I get on with the actual machine. I might even sideload a few ROMs. Until then, thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I unconditionally love your hecking faces. God, I miss print magazines. Might just do like I did in the 80s and go and read this on the toilet.